Let's get straight to the point. Straight to the point for you people with short attention spans. Is Diddy the American black culture? Is Diddy the spokesperson? Is Diddy the person who people look at for American black culture? Hell yeah, he is. Hell yeah, he is. Whether it's drugs, sex, alcohol, music, illegal activities, freak-offs, whatever you want to call it. Diddy is the absolute, down and out of the airport. Diddy is the absolute poster child for the American black culture and American black community. Now, you're going to get pushback. I know I'm going to get pushback. That's not true. That's not true. Yeah, the hell it is. And I'm going to break it down. And here we go. So, the American black community, if you even want to call that, because there hasn't been an American black community since about 64. More like 54. If you're alive right now and you're under the age of me, which is 50, you have never seen an American black community. You've seen American black neighborhoods. You've never seen an American black community where the stores are black, the bank is black, the hospital is black. Even when I was growing up in Pittsburgh, there was a corner store, Posey. He was a black male. There was a touch of class. There was a bar, black person owned. There was another bar, Allen Russ, black person owned. There was a barber shop, black person owned. And there was also a mechanic shop, black person owned. And this is all within one block of each other. Down the street from where I live, if you want to Google it, it's Deary and Lincoln Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Those things, that's what I saw growing up. I seen black men who own black businesses. You don't see that nowadays. You see black neighborhoods where a bunch of black people live. That's a neighborhood. That's not a community. There's two different things. Go and use Google and figure out what those two different things are. Now, I don't want to go too far back in the past of why there's not black communities, because the highway acts and different things like that, where people came and ran highways through, burned down neighborhoods. There's not been a black community for a while. There's been black neighborhoods. There still are black neighborhoods. Here in Atlanta, here in Pittsburgh, Philly, whatever. There are black neighborhoods, not black communities. No. So let's go to the American black culture. Culture. What is culture? Culture is what a group of people have that they all bond them together. That's culture in a nutshell. Research it on your own. So when I say culture, I mean it's a bunch of people who have the same ideology and they're all grouped together, right? What is the culture of the American black culture? P.Diddy is the American black culture. Whenever you hear people complain, culture vultures, or they're stealing our this, they're stealing that, they're stealing this, they're stealing that. What are they taking? They're taking the entertainment side. Entertainment side. Entertainment side. Okay? That's the culture that they're stealing when you hear people say, oh, they're stealing our culture. Whether it be Elvis Presley, okay, down to Vlad TV, who's taking the culture. All right? Culture. But the culture has a foundation. There's a foundation to culture. Okay? What's the foundation to an American black culture? That goes back to what? Drugs, alcohol, women, sex, violence, gangs, street life. All that is American black culture. Nobody's trying to talk about the other parts of the culture. They don't even talk about it. What are the other parts? I'm glad you asked. The other parts are, if you remove the entertainment and food away from culture, from all cultures around this planet, we have to remove the food and we have to remove the entertainment. That means arts and entertainment. So we're talking from the museums, to football, to music. We're removing all entertainment. What is the foundation? The foundation of other communities. I'll wait. You're like, what's the foundation? I mean, the foundation it's they're people, right? You're getting there. What's the foundation of other communities? Irish communities, Jamaican communities, Haitian communities, Russian, Chinese, wherever. Family. Family is the foundation of culture. Family is the foundation of culture. Family is the foundation of culture. So what does that mean? That means your family is your foundation. That's where you get your discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. It starts with your family. Discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. That's also where your subconscious starts to form up these what? Discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. It starts in your family unit. And we talk about family units from any other culture other than the American black community is grounded in family. See, we're building it up. We're building it up. All right, here we go. So, all other cultures deal with family. They start off with God, man, woman, children. That's their family cultures of all other cultures across this world. God, their God, whatever God it is, man, woman, child. You start to see, you about to hear the breakdown. You can feel it in your mind. You're like, oh yeah, I can see where our culture is screwed. Yeah, our culture is screwed because we look at things like God, woman, children, dogs, then man. That's the American black culture. You can argue that all you want to. Look around you. People who go outside and actually touch grass, they know that it goes God, woman, children, dogs, then man. Or sometimes it flips around, depending on you talking to a hotep or not. It can go woman, God, children, dogs, man. And that's the foundation of the culture is the family. If there is no foundation, then the culture is BS. If you ain't got a strong foundation, think of it like this. A tree with small roots is easily pushed over. Say it again. A tree with small roots is easily pushed over. A tree with small roots is easily pushed over. So when you talk about culture in the black culture, American black culture, what do you have? Literally nothing. That's why it's so easy for anybody to come in and take and leave, because there's no discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. You're not doing that for any other culture. Whether it be Irish, whether it be Italian, whether it be Jewish, okay, Haitian, Jamaican, you're not just going to come in their culture and do what you want to do. Nah, there are going to be some people who's going to come and see you about what's going on. There was a time in South Park was going to do something about the Muslims, right? They were going to do Muhammad. They were going to make a cartoon version of Muhammad. What the Muslims do, they said, hey, y'all ain't going to do that, or we about to come see you. To this day, 2024, there's still... Why? Because South Park ain't trying to catch that heat. Because the Muslims, they know the Muslims will come and see them about them. You don't have that with the black American culture or the American black culture. You don't have no discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. You have none. That's why you have these gangs running around here doing God knows what they want to do, because there's no discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. They had them prior to Joe Biden's and Bill Clinton's crime bill in 94, and they locked up all the people who were in charge of all that stuff. Believe it or not, there was like a code that went around like, hey, we don't mess with them because they're not in that life. I was one of them thems. I was one of the educated lames. They was just like, he's just not in that life. So I wasn't involved with whatever activities they were doing. So I was excluded. And not just me in particular. It was just like, they just knew that dude wasn't part of them lives. They knew dudes was just like, they don't do what we do, so we leave them alone. After that crime bill came and they swooped away all the quote unquote the lieutenants and the captains or whatever and locked them all up, all you had left was just a bunch of troops, and the troops just went buck wild. And that's where we are now, where there's no discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards when it comes to gangs. You can get it, your mom can get it, your kids can get it, your grandma, and it's just across the board. You don't have that in other cultures. You don't have that in other cultures. Now you may say, yeah, well they did this to his whole family or her whole family. I'm not saying 100%, nothing's guaranteed except death and taxes. So sometimes they send a message and be like, okay, your people did this. We're going to get rid of all your people to show other people that don't do it. Not just some random dudes on the street, the youngins as they call them, out there spraying whole parties because they want to get to one person. That's totally different. There is an innocence about it. So I say that to say, is P. Diddy a representation of the American black culture? He is the poster child of the American black culture. And there's nothing you can say or do about it. Because that's just what it is. It's about gangs, about drugs, it's about women, it's about sex, it's about allegedly assaulting people, it's about allegedly getting people killed. That's what the American black culture talks about. They don't talk about the other side of the American black culture. So let's not go this back and forth where people want to go back and forth with it. It's like, it doesn't make no sense. Why do you want to go back and forth with something that we can see in front of us? People talk about American black culture all across this planet. It's about the music, the violence, the sex, the drugs, the guns. They're not talking about, oh, the wholesomeness of the family. Come on now. Let's be honest with each other. Well, that's not true. Isolated incidences does not mean nothing to the group. Isolated incidences means nothing to the group. Bernie Madoff was a Jew, and he did things, but he was him. It wasn't the group. There were going to be isolated situations. But when it comes to American black culture, y'all see it like I see it. P. Diddy being arrested, it's just, he's one of many. That's the American black culture. There is no family. There is no foundation. There's nobody to put these people in check and say, hey, you're doing too much. And that's why we are where we are. You can argue with me all you want to. The majority of people who see American black culture on this planet see us as drugs, violence, guns, sex, manipulation, alleged killings, alleged whatever. They're not copying our family values. Okay? They're not copying our ability to not buy our communities, and they're not copying those parts. So when they say they're still in our culture, what part of the culture are they actually taking? P. Diddy is American black culture. Period. Anybody who denies that is just delusional because they don't want to agree with a person like me. More power to you. More power to you. We all know the rap game and all that stuff. But like I said, they've been doing this stuff for 10, 12 years, but there's been no discipline and punishment to say, hey, dude, what are you doing? Well, other cultures do the same thing. We're not going to talk about other cultures because they don't go to the extremes of this. This is some extreme shit. Extreme shit. Can you name an Italian P. Diddy? Can you name a Haitian P. Diddy? A Jewish P. Diddy? An Irish P. Diddy? A Japanese, Korean, Russian P. Diddy? You can't. Because their cultures ain't gonna let that happen. They're like, well, there's gangs like the one gang that's in Japan. Okay, but there's still discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards that gang focuses under. Right? Same thing with other cartels or mafias or gangs within the world. They have a discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. We have none. That's why it's so easy to manipulate, twist, turn, and do whatever you want to do with the American black community, because there is no discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. And nobody's like, there's nobody who's in charge of making sure that occurs the way it's supposed to occur. Just like it's just a wild, wild west out here when it comes to American black community. That's why it's so easy to divide us when it comes to things like politics and anything else. Just throw Meg Thee Stallion at them and tell rappers to vote for this person and do this thing over here. They don't do that to other communities. Why? Other communities have discipline, punishments, boundaries, and standards. You can't just throw some entertainer at a Korean community and tell them, well, he said or she said, vote for this person. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. Like, who is this person? Oh, they're the #1 pop star in Korea. They're like, we don't care. We're business people. We handle shit within ourselves. We don't look outside to celebrities to select who should run us. We run us. But see, as the American black community, American black culture is all what? Rappers and ball players and entertainers. That's why I said, if you take away food and entertainment, you have nothing. Ain't nobody listening to intellectuals in the American black community. You probably couldn't name three black PhDs. You can't even name one. There's 3. Can't even name one. I'll give you one. Dr. Tia Sean. You probably don't even follow him. Probably don't even know who the hell he is. Dr. Thunder. Who is that? Don't know who that is either. Because you don't follow these people. You're following rappers. You're following the Shade Room. TMZ. Entertainers, rappers. That's why I said we got to take those entertainers and rappers and food and put that over here. The American black community is culture. The American black culture is screwed. P.Diddy is the American black culture personified in front of everybody. And people aren't shocked. Nobody's shocked. Oh, he got arrested for this. People are like, wow, they're shocked at what the stuff he did, but they're just like, because it's normal to us. It goes back to what I always talk about, the spider and the fly. The American black culture is just so unorganized. So you're like, well, Rome, you're talking about bad about black people. You don't care about black people and black people and black people and black people and black people. We've been separated since the 1700s. We just made it seem like we were all together. We've never been a collective group. Never. Even on the slave fields, there's never been a collective group. Never. What Jay-Z made that song, rich nigga, field nigga, house nigga, poor nigga, still niggas, right? We never really been a collective group. Period. So let's not go with this whole, I got to come up with a solution. No, we haven't been like this since forever. So don't come at me with that. Well, what's the solution? Here's your solution. Find your group, stick with your group, and move with your group. That's simple. Find your group, move with your group. Once you find your group and move with your group, you keep it pushing. What about the rest of the community? I already told you there's no community. What about the culture? I already told you there's no culture. You can't put something together with broken pieces. Let me say that again. You cannot put something together with broken pieces. You cannot put something together with missing pieces. You just can't do it. If I give you a box of whatever, a box for a table from IKEA, there's some pieces missing, how you supposed to put it together? There's some pieces broken, how you supposed to put it together? It's not going to go together. Well, we need them. Stop. People have the time, energy, and effort to try to fix broken pieces, to put them together, and when they're trying to get their own lives together and keep their own mental health focused. So let's not go with this whole, we need to help each other. We want to talk about we need to help. 1700s, we've been talking about we need to get together. It's the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, now it's the 2000s, and people are still saying, if we just come together. Most of you don't have a family reunion within the last 3 to 5 years, but you think you're going to bring the community together. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Just have a family reunion. That's all. Just have a family reunion. I'm not asking for much. Have a family reunion. Bring the sides of the family together. We all go to one spot and do one thing before you start telling me about the black community. 6, how you cop? Cop you clear, cop what you got. I'm out.